I've gone from being super lazy to a highly productive and efficient person. I know that a lot of you guys are struggling with this, and you asked me a bunch of times to make a video where I show you how I structure a productive day, just working at home. So come hang out with me today, let's be productive together. 3 pro tips I have for you, and it all starts with having a productive body. Often we seem to think that being productive is all about self-discipline and forcing ourselves to focus, but self-control will only take you so far. We need to set ourselves up properly so productivity comes easy. I started this morning like I do every day by taking care of the old body. What do we physically need to be productive? Being well rested, well nourished, and well worked out. So actually, step 1 in having a productive day starts already the night before by going to bed in a reasonable time. 7 to 8 hours sleep is what the body needs to function. Even if you can't fall asleep, just reading or listening to a podcast in bed still counts as resting. Staying away from the screen from at least 2 hours before bed is an epic help in falling asleep quickly, if you ask me, and if you're having troubles winding down at night. Step 2, eating. First thing when I wake up is usually having breakfast. I want to eat something that is filling but not heavy, since I don't want my brain to get all sluggish. So this morning, just like every morning, I ate oats. Yes, we're all members of the porridge cult here, but it works. Cold porridge with all the fruits and berries give me a slow release of energy throughout the morning. For lunch, I recommend one of my go-to meals, which is another slow releasing energy bomb: brown rice and lentil congee with kale and broccoli. I have recipes for both, I think, on my blog. I'll put some links in the description. General rule: fill up on slow carbs, nutrient-rich foods like fruit and veggies. Stay away from processed food and sugars that will give you energy spikes that you crash down from. And from heavy food like meats that take a long time to digest and make you feel tired and sluggish. Step 3, moving my body. I want to release all tension in my muscles before work, so I go to the gym every morning, Monday to Friday. Sometimes I go to classes, but mostly I do a combination of treadmill followed by weight machines. On a busy day, I get a quick Pilates workout done at home on the mat. Now, there's no way I could motivate myself 5 days a week without a few tricks up my sleeve. I'm way too easily bored to just be in a cross trainer or treadmill for 30 minutes straight every morning. So what I do is I bring my Kindle. I put it on the treadmill and I read. Even when I'm on the machines, I listen to an audiobook or a podcast, and this way, time flies and I learn something new every morning. This is how I'm able to read so many books every year, although my schedule is crazy. I read, gym, multitask. I finish up with a proper 20-minute stretch and a hot, relaxing shower, and my body is ready for work. But if you think I'm ready to sit down to work now, think again. I really need to be in a productive environment to be able to focus and be efficient, and to enjoy working really. And step 1 is dressing the part. I never work in bed in a pajama under the covers because I don't even own a pajama, to be honest with you. I always dress in comfy but proper clothes, and if I don't wear makeup, I at least put on some lipstick to feel like the day has started. Step 2, creating a mood. Before I sit down, I get my space ready. I tidy up, I light the candles, put on some calming music, and make sure to always have a nice drink next to me, like tea or iced coffee or sparkling water or kombucha. Staying hydrated throughout the day is another way to make sure your productive body stays productive. When my space is ready, I can start working. If we have a job in front of us that we really don't want to do, this step is even more important. If we're at least sitting down in a beautiful calming space, it's easier to motivate ourselves to just get the annoying task done. Okay, I'm ready, let's start working. Now, we need to make sure we throughout the day have a productive time management. This is where we tend to fail miserably. Am I right? Procrastination, distractions, our focus wandering off in all kinds of directions. Okay, so I don't know how I've done it, but I've found a way to work for hours straight without getting distracted. Time management and distraction management is key here. Let's take today as an example. I'm working on my novel all day. Not sure if you saw that on Instagram, but I have finished the first draft. Can you believe it? 100,000 1,000 words. So now I have a ton of boring stuff to do, like research and editing. I don't look forward to it that much, but I know I'll kind of spark up as soon as I get into it. So step 1, putting away my phone. Turn off the sound and place it out of reach so that you have to stand up if you want to go get it. Step 2, tab control. Only have a set number of tabs up. For today, I have the actual manuscript tab, the doc I use for comments and ideas and questions, a Google page for looking up words and synonyms and such, and a general research tab where I look up whatever. Those 4 tabs are all I need to do my job today. Step 3, divide your day into productive chunks. I usually go for 1 or 2 hours depending on the task. After that, I get up, go to the loo, stretch my legs, steal a little kiss from David, and then sit down with a refreshed brain. Usually I give myself a treat like a snack or an iced coffee or an Instagram break, just to tell myself that I'm doing good. Step 4, the to-do list. The most satisfying thing in my productive day is when I get to cross something off my list. I usually start my day by doing a couple of quick and easy tasks just to get a few things crossed off, and that makes me feel like I'm on a roll. I know some people like to start with the biggest task first, but I find that I work better when I save it for last. Just because I can't focus very well on the main big task if I know I have a dozen small annoying things waiting for me to get sorted afterwards. For instance, today one of the things on my to-do list is to brainstorm the name of one character in my book. I asked you guys to help me out in our podcast and on Instagram, and I've gotten some really good suggestions. It's still really hard though, so I thought I asked you guys here as well, and maybe we can do like a little vote off in the comments or something to help me get ideas. Okay, so the guy is a love interest of my main character. He's a bartender and they used to go to the same school back in her Swedish hometown. He's half Swedish, half Somalian, and his last name is Abrahamson. He's tall and lanky and mysterious and quite flirty and smooth, kind of like the typical femme fatale but a guy, so an homme fatale. The only thing I know is that his name should start with an A. So I'll put a bunch of the suggestions I've gotten in the comments, and maybe you can thumb up the comment with a name that you like the best. Oh, and feel free to add other name suggestions too. Anything that starts with an A. I would really appreciate you helping me out with this. Oh, and because I talked to you guys about this, I can tick off this task on my to-do list already. One less thing to do. Thank you for that. You see, we're kind of motivating to push each other already. I love it. Step 5, the daily deadline. I think that knowing what time to finish is essential in keeping a productive routine. If I have a to-do list and a deadline at 6 p.m, for example, like I have today, it gives the day a low-key kind of urgency. I can't slack off, I can't procrastinate, because then I won't be able to finish my to-do list in time. If we instead allow ourselves to overwork way into the evening, the whole day will become slower, more slack, and less motivational. And if you work late at night, it's so much harder winding down in the evening, sleeping well, and feeling rested enough to get going again the day after. I like to clock off at 6, go for a little walk, talk about the day with David, cook some food, and then read for a few hours before bedtime, which is usually around 11 p.m. I'll wake up between 6:30 and 7 in the mornings, and I start the whole thing over again. It's a very simple routine, but it really works for me in my creative job. What are you working on at the moment? Is there anything special you need to be productive? Like me with my cozy Scandi environment and bright lipstick. I want to hear all about your routines. Talk to you guys in the comments, and I can't wait to hear what you think about what my hunky book character's name should be. I really enjoyed having you guys over today, helping me motivate myself, and I hope that I helped motivate you as well. If you need any company on the treadmill or on your daily walks, you can find our podcast, The Mustards, on all major podcast apps. Let me know what you think about it. That's it, time to get back to research. Go do something productive you too. It's easier when we do stuff together, isn't it? I will see you next week already. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Until then, puss puss and hej då!
I'm not a Stockholmer, I'm not a Londoner, I'm not a Berliner, I'm just perfect.
What are you then?
David, the perfect guy. I'm gonna print t-shirts. We're gonna sell thousands, tens of thousands of these t-shirts that just says David, the number one guy. David, the guy for all the world.
Just a guy.
Be like David. Oh, be like David.